What's up, beautiful people? Todd and Tasha here. So this is not really like a organized video here, but it's just kind of a shotgun video, and we just kind of want to talk about the subject matter a little bit here. We just want to talk about how that this feminist movement is actually hurting women, that's working against women. If you guys like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share all across social media. If you don't have social media, please share anyway. Now, there's a lot of women coming out on social media now, and they're realizing that they have been duped because of this whole feminist movement. So one of the things that consists of this feminist movement is women saying, hey, we don't need a man, okay? I'm independent, I can do, things all by myself. I don't need a man for this and that, X, Y, Z, all this stuff. I'm a strong woman, I can work 2-3 jobs, I can be a business owner. All that stuff is fine and dandy, but at the same time, you're spewing out all this stuff towards a man and saying that you don't need a man. That's basically showing masculine energy coming from your mouth, actually.
So here's the thing, as you all know, obviously after World War II, that is when the big feminist movement pretty much started, as far as more so the roles were reversed. Women were now in the workplace, they were making their own money. They started kind of, I guess you would say, feeling themselves, so to speak. But basically that was like that was the turning point where a lot of this, independence, I should say, type of thing took place and started taking that turn. And as we already know, over the years, it ramped up. We saw women, time after time, decade after decade, going out and just basically staking their claim, trying to compete with men, trying to say that, hey, anything you can do, I can do better. There were songs about it. And the bottom line is, we, of course, need each other. And I want to say, of course, to you sisters out there, is actually, as we already know, the feminist movement itself was, of course, a, we'll just say non-black thing. And we, of course, are attached ourselves to that. And I want to say that we'll say the non-blacks, they got something out of it. But the problem is, when it came to us getting into the feminist movement, your stance has been, I don't need a man. Well, actually, the other side hasn't necessarily said that verbally, but you guys have been repeatedly telling men and yourselves over and over again, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, independent woman, things like that, like my husband said. And the thing of it is, now people are hitting the wall, so to speak, and they're like looking around like, wait a minute,
like a lot of women are upset now because the fact that they followed this feminist movement. So they realize that they are lonely and they don't have a man, they don't have companionship, because they basically push a lot of men away. Like, there's been good men who came, in the path of women, but women turn them down because they're too busy saying, okay, I'm working on myself, my career, all that comes first.
I gotta get the bag.
Being a man, I gotta get the bag, I gotta make this money, all of that stuff. So they've been pushing good men away. I'm not saying every man that crosses your path is a good man,
right?
But even still, the chance to date someone that is at least decent, to where you can not only learn about him, but you can learn about yourself. So now they're like in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and they don't have a man, and if they have a man, he's not necessarily a good man. They're just, because of the fact that they're a lot of them are so desperate, they'll take any old man, just, so they won't be lonely. But that's just a big mistake. But women all over social media, I'm not saying every single female, but a lot of women on social media now are voicing the fact that, I've been duped because of this feminist movement. So now I'm like basically left, all alone. I'm not married. I'm at a certain age. I want to have children, or I want to have children with my a husband. So that's really kind of a bad deal that's going on right now. The other side of the fence is this, and I think we talked about this before in another video, that a lot of women do not listen to men at all. And it's not just men talking now, women are talking as well, but not the women here in the United States, women overseas. So there's a big cultural difference here. So the culture over here of women, their thinking is, okay, this man, he better be making 6 figures. He better be driving a Benz. He better be driving a Range, all of this stuff. He needs to be taking me to a 5-star restaurant on the first date. I don't want to go to, Chipotle on a first date. I don't want to go to Starbucks and sit down and have coffee and get to know him. I want to be going on a 5-star date the first time. And so basically you're getting with this person or want to hang out with this person just because how much money he has, when you really don't really care anything about him. But you call yourself trying to get into a long-term relationship with this person, but it's never going to work out because your basis was on, again, what he can do for you, what he can provide for you. But that's wrong, very wrong. But if you listen to these women over in places like Thailand and the Philippines, they are normal. Okay, so they're basically talking about normalized women. We used to have normalized women. We still have normalized women here in the United States, but not a lot of normalized women anymore. Normalized women, in other words, women who know their role, saying, "Hey, okay, so I would love to provide for genuinely love to provide for their man. They provide for the man. You know, they do stuff. You know, folding his clothes. You know, washing clothes, keeping the house clean, tidy, nice and neat. And the guy, you know, brings home the bacon and the eggs."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to add context to this, just really super briefly, is that, and again, as we already know, in the Black community, there have been tons of systemic things that have been put in place to pretty much destroy the Black family, and a feminist movement is one of them. Of course, the whole thing as far as incarceration, breaking up Black families, putting fathers in jail, and things of that nature has basically instilled fear into Black women so that they go more towards feminism, thinking like, oh my gosh, I've got to provide, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, for myself, for my children. I'm a single mother, and basically that cycle has repeated itself, and it has evolved into what we see today, where it's like, okay, well, I don't need a man, I don't need a man. So there's always two sides to the coin, and the bottom line is this: we need each other. And ladies, that out there, you feel like you've been duped by the feminist movement, you still have, there's still hope, of course, because again, you just have to wake up, and smell the coffee, so to speak, and make changes, and just basically work on that your internal self to just, hey, come to grips with that.
Exactly. So, just to get back to my point as far as women overseas actually, they have it. They actually understand what's going on. They understand the needs of men over the United States. And let me just make myself clear. I'm not saying that the men here are perfect. Men here are not perfect by any means. The men, they have a lot of issues going on. There's a lot of men who don't know how to hold a relationship. There's a lot of men here in the U.S. who do not know how to treat women. But also at the same time, there is a lot of women who don't understand their role as a woman, as a wife, a girlfriend, whatever, to treat a man. So, but again, women overseas, like the Philippines and Thailand, they know exactly what men like. They know what they desire. And women over there, they don't necessarily go out their way. They just do what's part of their culture. And their culture is, again, making sure the man is well taken care of. And of course, obviously vice versa, the man's going to make sure that the woman is taken care of as well, too. But here in the United States, when you bring up the fact that a man wants a woman to take care of him, they think like, okay, well, he's not a baby, he can take care of himself and I can take care of myself. That's not what a man is saying. A man is just simply saying, hey, it's very attractive to us, a feminine woman, a girly woman, a woman who does things for a man, who helps the man out, because the Bible says that God created women to be our helpmeet. So you help them in all different areas. And what is wrong here in the United States? What's wrong with men wanting women to not only be their companion, but to, assist them, to help them, to help take care of their needs, to make them feel like a king. A man is definitely going to make you feel like a good man is going to make you feel like a queen, make him feel like a king. But, just the simple things like giving back massages, foot rubs, things like that. Making this breakfast or dinner. It's not that, okay, the man's not going to do those things either. But so these women in other countries, they're basically get it. They understand the role, of the woman. But here in the United States, it's so materialistic, and women just, for some reason, not all, but a lot of women just don't want to do those things.
And ladies, the thing of it is too, another key point here as well is that sometimes a lot of times you've tried to quote unquote try that, and the problem is you tried it with the wrong guy. And so basically you tried all that. Oh yeah, I used to do this, I used to do that, everything for a man, and then he still did this, he still did that. When at the core of it was that he was already that type of person anyway, but you basically were so enamored, or so, whatever the case may be with this guy, that you really thought he was the one, when really it wasn't love, it wasn't, who you should have been doing that with. Because let's be real, men and women, you don't spew out those type of behaviors with everybody, okay? And I think that's where a lot of times even guys go wrong too, is that they, do certain things for women, and then the women cheat, when actually she had cheating tendencies in the beginning. The man had cheating tendencies in the beginning, and you did that. Now you're bitter, burnt, and you're basically pointing a finger at each other. And that's basically not, not what it's all about. Take time to be, to go within as far as, hey, is this person worth it? And like Todd said, the guy is going to do those things. He's going to be the man. He's going to make you feel like a queen. So it's not about you just basically being some type of slave. It's about, it's about give and take. It's about you guys are there for each other. Okay. That's what I think is a key point.
Because it's terrible. Like, people are always basing everything about off of money and also what you can do for me.
Right.
Okay, I'm not going to do this unless you do this for me. You got to do this. I'm not doing this. It's ridiculous. That's why dating in not just LA, but dating in this country is all jacked up, because a huge problem is, and I'm going to keep it real, a huge problem is you guys are listening to these rap lyrics or this music, whatever it is. You guys are listening to stuff, because somebody else's situation, because they had a bad situation, whatever. It started from like Beyonce, Destiny's Child, Can You Pay My Bills? That's where there's a lot of stuff really started from as far as this music. But listening to this garbage, I'm being honest. This music today is garbage. And the problem is that people are listening to this stuff, it's tainting their thinking. So then they're thinking like everybody else. So I talked about some of the stuff before. They're thinking like everybody else, and they're, because of someone else had a bad experience, they're like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go that route. I don't want to date such or whoever because someone else had a bad experience. The thing is, what I learned about myself, I dated a lot of the wrong people before Tasha and I got together. I was dating a lot of wrong people, dating because I thought they looked a certain kind of way or whatever, or they seemed to be nice. But 9 times out of 10, that the person that we are dating, people that we're dating, they're not the ones for, especially here in the U.S. and everything. So basically, what I'm saying is that when you pick the wrong person to date, then that relationship goes south. Don't be mad at them, be mad at yourself, because you're the one that chose that person.
And don't cast the brush, paint a broad stroke amongst everybody else. Like, okay, that experience happened, so, all the guys are bad, all the girls are bad. Like, no, that's not the case. Just like Todd said, you always have to look at yourself, because everything that you see is a mirror. It's mirroring out what you're giving out. So
exactly. So, it's just as, again, not to like dog or anybody out,
no,
whatever,
this is for
you got to
awareness.
really think, like, because there's going to come a time, see, your thinking is going to change. Like, okay, so when you were, like 10 years old, okay, you may have played with, toys or whatever the case may be. And then you got to be like 15, you no longer had a desire to play with toys. That's because your mind is still thinking. When you get to be 20, your desires are different. Basically, you're maturing. So, but right now, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, he better be making this much money. She better be doing this. He better be doing that. All the type of unrealistic stuff. And being young, you just think you're going to live forever. You don't think about, okay, I might not wake up tomorrow. You just always thinking like, okay, I'm young. I feel good. I'm vibrant. I'm active. I'm going to be here for a long, long time. But that's not necessarily the case. But you don't understand, time flies by very fast. We've been together for 22 years, married for almost 21. Time flies by so fast, and our thinking isn't the same. We had to grow. When we first got together, our thinking was different, but as things progressed, as the years went by, we started maturing in our thinking and everything. So your thinking definitely changes, guys. But I'm telling you, you have to really think that what your future is going to be like, because you don't want to be a certain age and then looking back, oh, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have thought like that, because a lot of people, you're going to be kicking yourselves, because you was following this feminist movement, and then you're at a certain age and you're like, oh, I don't have anybody.
Yep.
So you have to really think about that.
Exactly. So, that's pretty much what we have for this
video,
guys.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
We just wanted to have just a quick little powwow. Just kidding. A quick little, few points or whatever there.
Right.
And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share all over social media. As the baby coughs. And of course, if you don't have social media, share anyway. We want to hear what you have to say in the comment section as well. And of course, until the next video,
we are out.
Peace.
God bless you.